Hey, hello bangers! Welcome back to Metal Anthology channel. So today I will continue my top 25 best metal album of 2023. So today I will review my picks from 16 to 20. So let's dig those picks and start with my 20th pick, a band from Canada called Pronostic. It's their third album called Chaotic Upheaval. It's their first album since 2015. The last release was called An Atomic Decision. Was a really good album, but I like more maybe their debut album in 2012. But this third album is their best to date, I think, for me. It was produced by Chris Donaldson from Cryptopsy. He's been a guitar player for Cryptopsy since, I think, 2008, something like that. So, and he produced a whole lot of great records. Lately, Shadows of Intent, for an example. So, Suffocation. So, he's really good at production, and the guys in Pronostic are all very competent players. There's 3 regular members of the band, 2 guitar players that are doing double duties because they are playing guitar and singing as well. One has a deep growl and the other one is more on the screaming side. So there's a great balance between and a great dynamic between those 2 voices of Charles Pilote and Alex Lozon. So I think they are really mind-blowing players. They can do almost everything, but that's the songwriting that is more mesmerizing for me. And on bass duty, the other regular member of the band is Xavier Sperduclis. It sounds Greek. I'm sure I'm pronouncing that wrong, but okay. He's playing fretless bass, and I think he's bringing really tasty licks to the mix, and sometimes he has a lot more room to express himself, especially during calmer parts. So he's very, very audible in the mix. Also, he's high enough so we can really appreciate his work. And to complete this very talented lineup is on drums Samuel Santiago, who was more known for his work with Gorod. Was, I think, on 3 Gorod albums, not sure, but at least 2. And he was in First Fragment for 2 or 3 years. I saw him in 2016 with First Fragment. He was spectacular. So really good drummer, and I think he bring really a lot to the riffs. So he's really tight. He follows the rhythm perfectly, and he adds some spices. So it's just not following the rhythms. He adds some tricky, intricate playing, and it brings all the riffs to another level. So he's not doing too much. It's just the perfect balance. So for the style of the band is a very good melodic death metal with some technical aspect to it. I will say it's maybe a mix of Covadis, Obscura comes to mind, Beyond Creation, also from Canada, and maybe a pinch of Gothenburg metal death song, because there's so many great melodies that will sound a little bit like the Scandinavian sound mixed with the Canadian sound. So it's quite brutal. There's some blast beat, obviously, a lot of double bass drumming. So really, really cool album from Pronostic. And I will say maybe my favorite tracks on it will be Indefinite Continuity. The first one is the opener. Conclusion Impromptue. There's 2 songs that are sang in French. And maybe Concealed Parasite is probably my favorite on the album. The midsection is incredible with some piano and bass solos that are completely outstanding and really refreshing as a sound. So that's it. My 20th pick with Pronostic and Chaotic Upheaval. Next one, it's a band that is really known all around the world for more than 20 years right now. It's their ninth album. The band is from Finland. It's called Insomnium. Their album is called Anno 1696. And yes, this band just can do no wrong. I like all their albums. Some are better than the others. Above the Weeping World was maybe my best with Winter's Gate, but they're all really, really good. Marcus Vanella from Omnium Gatherum is handling most of the songwriting on this for the musical part, and Nilo Sevonen is the lyricist. He wrote the whole story, and there's a bonus 3 tracks that you can have on an EP that is following the same story, and it's really good. Also, I strongly recommend to take a listen at those 3 tracks they release after the release of the album. So it's not just Marcus, obviously. Nilo will add the lyrics, but everybody in the band is involved in the songwriting. So Jani Limatinen, that you know from Sonata Arctica and Kane's Offering, Dark Element is there, and he's really good, and he's doing clean vocal parts also, and that's absolutely fantastic. All the parts he sing. There's also Will Freeman that is there from the start of the band. He's not there anymore during the live shows because he's a professor at university, but he's involved in the band still. So he wrote, I think the song Lillian was his writing. Really strong song, really melodic in the whole vibe of Insomnium, but there's also a lot of progressive elements on that album, and I really like their longer song. So Godforsaken is a great example with some female vocals added to the mix. Really good song, and the main riff is almost a black metal tremolo picking riff. Really, really, really nice. I think also to talk a little bit about Nilo's vocal, his deep guttural growls are so perfect for the song of the band. It brings a wonderful balance between aggressiveness and also the more overwhelming melodic parts. So he's a perfect fit, and I really much dig his whispering parts. It adds atmosphere, it adds a sense of mystery, and I hope he will continue to use that color in his vocal. The longer track are, for me, almost all the best. The title track is really strong, one of my favorites, but I really like when they go on the progressive side, and it's thrown in a rather simple way. It's not that complicated because the emphasis being to bang your head for sure. It's always a banger to listen to Insomnium, but they want you to feel the melodies. The emphasis is on that. Writing great hooks and excellent song, not getting over complicated and trying to blow you away with virtuosity. All the band members can do virtuosity for sure, but they are writing something more easy listening. So I really like that band, and that's my 19 choices. Insomnium Anno 16 96. My favorite songs, the title track for sure, A Starless Path is extraordinary for me. There's an epic, memorable guitar solo through the end. One of my favorite of the year. Marcus Vanilla just knows how to write some of the greatest solos I've heard in my life. So much emotion, so really like it. And Lillian is a favorite of mine. You see the Rapids. The last song is really good also. So great album. Um, at for my 18th position, I'm choosing the album Hellish Hunt from the band Grymheart. They are Hungarian. It was really a great surprise for me because I've never heard of that band. That's their debut album, and you can't underline the fact that they sound a lot like Insomnium. I have that T-shirt today of Victory Song. It was like a great coincidence. So sometimes it's feel even like a ripoff, but it's not a ripoff. Yes, there's a lot of influences, but they write their own things at the same time. It's so well composed. It is so energetic. I just can't blame them for throwing back at us that kind of vibe because I was missing that from Insomnium in the last couple albums. They are writing still good music, but it's not as epic as it was and as full of energy. But there's exception. On the last album, they have some really interesting track. But coming back to Grymheart, all the ingredients for a superb old school Viking metal album are here. Generally, it's upbeat tempos, it's memorable, uplifting melodies. There's clean vocals, Vikings alike, gnarly screams like in bands like Fintroll, Insomnium, Equilibrium, swinging, triumphant riffs, symphonic elements, but they are not at the front. They are quite in the back, just to help the sound to be larger and to add a little feel of epic. And super happy guitar soloing. So really nice. Gaber Kovacs, sorry Gaber for that pronunciation, is the mastermind of this project. He was in the band called Wisdom, a power metal act, before forming Grymheart. He handles vocals, most of the guitar, songwriting, production, engineering, mastering. So he's really a guy with a lot of competence, for sure. And maybe it's the funniest record I've listened this year. You just want to go in the pit and dancing and jumping everywhere while shouting like the lyrics if you know them, but just shouting if you don't know and you just know the la 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 la. So it's a really fun album. This one will definitely cheer you up and prepare yourself for the battle of the day. So if you have to battle something, put that record and you will be really ready to show the best of yourself. So the best song I think on this album, maybe Hellbent Horde. That's the first real song after the intro. Everlost is a really great, upbeat, fast-paced song, and the closing track is my best of the record. It's a more longer song, much longer, like 8 minutes 30, something like that. It's Monsters Among Us. It's really a great track, and you see the capacities of the band to write really good songs that are not just like Insomnium. They can write their own thing. So number 17, Elvenking from Italy. That's the second album from their trilogy called Reader of the Runes. This chapter, the second one is called Rapture. Um, really great album again from Elvenking, another band that almost never disappoint me. All albums are with good quality. Some are better than the others. This one is on the better side. First, take a good damn look at that cover art. Seriously, it's so nice. I felt in love at first sight just because of the cover, and the artist that did that cover is Sofia Denkova. She's the artist also on a lot of Power Wolf album, so she's really a great artist for that type of visual. So thumbs up to her. It's an album full of different colors and different kind of songs. So you have your speedier tracks, the most anthemic ones like they can do, the really catchy melodic chorus, the more mellow side with some acoustic part and some strings, and the violin is always used just at an accurate rate, just not too much, but just enough. So they also go on territory they barely explore to this date, so thumbs up to them. And I like that black metal segment in the last song. It was a total surprise, but the vibe was there, the atmosphere, and then bang, the blast beat kicked off, and I was like, oh yes, they did that. So you can have a lot of surprises on that album. Dan Negara's vocals is strong as always, as catchy as ever. The guy knows how to sing absolutely stunning hooks, and Aiden on guitar is matching with as incredible melody lines and guitar solos. So it's a good match between the two of them. And on this album, I think Elvenking sounds a little bit more proggy. There's a progressive twist, you can feel it, and most of the tracks evolves up to the end, so you never have the exactly same part. They will always change a little bit of elements, so the main frame is the same, but they change little things, and that's what gives maybe the repeat listening. You want to listen to that album way more because it always changes in some part. So it's a really refined composition. The drumming on this album is outstanding. It's really the drum is composed to fit the riffs, but to add a lot more. He's really good on that album. I think it's the best album on drums I've heard from Elvenking. It's Scott Atkins that assured the production, and it's really a great sounding album. So strongly recommend that one also if you like power metal with folk influences and a proggy side also. So best track, To the North. A speedier one, really good track. The Hanging Tree also, and An Autumn Reverie is really a strong track, but I'd say I love all the tracks on this album, and every single track has a little something different to offer. So Elvenking, Reader of the Runes, Chapter 2, Rapture, Part 2, 17th position, and now the last pick for this video, the 16th place to Astralborne. It's a band from Ohio, United States. Their album is called Across the Aeons. Nice surprise for me. Again, I didn't know about that band, and it's a really, really good album. It's awesome melodic death metal with deep growls, really deep growls, and hooks to die for. There's not a lot of variation in the vocal department, but it fits the music so well that it doesn't bother me. So I will like to have a little bit more variety, but at the same time, it's super, and you can concentrate uh, your mind on the great stuff. The great stuff being it's a guitar driven album. So I really like the mix of shorter and longer songs. You have songs from 3 minutes to 9 minutes epic, so it's really nice, different vibes. There's a certain amount of technicality, but the melody is always at the center of the songwriting, which I love really much. And it reminds me of Old In Flames and Old Children of Bodom, because there's almost a lead guitar melody in every single part on this album. I just love that. It's really one of my favorite kind of metal. So great, great, great guitar melodies, and also wonderful guitar solos. It's the they concentrate always a little bit like Marcus Vanilla will do. It's a lot about the melody, so it's not just about shredding the fastest they can. They will really choose the good notes, the good tempos, and they will bring you in a story while doing their guitar solos. There's a lot of tempo variation throughout the song. They can go pretty hard with some blast beat. There's a lot of blast beat in the album. Or just mid tempo. Sometimes it's more on the groovy side, like maybe riffs like you will find in Clayman of In Flames, or fast paced, Dark Tranquility type of riffs, like fast picking Dark Tranquility riffs. And Derek Smith is the guitar player, and he has the capacity to play so many memorable licks that will stick in your head all day, and you just want to revisit the album to listen to those very strong guitar playing again and again. So they had the audacity also. Yes. Just remember, they did a cover of December Flower of In Flames, and that track is a masterpiece to me. And they attacked that song, and it was maybe not the best choice, but they succeed at doing it. So I'm really glad they did. So the solo is a little bit different, so you can find something interesting that you don't have on the original version of the track. So both versions are really good, but it's kind of almost the same song. They didn't change a lot, but just enough to make it their own. So that's cool for me. The song is right in the middle of the album, and I'd say it's a great choice because the songwriting on this album really fits December Flower. It's really fast paced in general, and some of the best hooks you will hear during the 2023 years. So best tracks for me will be the title track, the 9 minutes 30 epic song. It's the last real track because the last track is a shorter instrumental track, which is really good to just cool down this album. I really like War Vessel, and I really like Nocturnus. So that's my best 3 track, but there's not a filler. There's I think 2 instrumental tracks on it. really, really, really good stuff. So that's it for my picks from 16 to 20. So I'll be back with the next five picks for this top 25, and I hope you're doing well. I hope you like my picks, and if you don't like it, just tell me why. If you liked it, tell me why also. So it's all about sharing metal and our love for this kind of music. So let's interact and have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video for sure. Cheers!